This is an ordinary school bus, but it's not headed to an ordinary school. And this isn't just a forest, it's a classroom.
Nature is the classroom here. There's no blackboards, there's no desks, and no fluorescent lighting.
The forest school model is a dramatic experiment that's having transformational results.
The latest research points to children only spending 10 minutes outside in free play. 10 minutes. In conventional schools, time outdoors is the exception, and in forest school, time outdoors is the rule. This unique environment helps children develop curiosity, creativity, resilience, and a love of nature. But the most surprising results have happened in our kids with special needs.
So what exactly does a school look like when taken beyond the four walls of a classroom? And if Tamara's unique approach works here, what could it teach us about the future of education?
This is Stand Together Presents, stories, ideas, and advice from changemakers tackling our biggest challenges.
Okay, picture a school. Chances are you're imagining something like this. But what if there are actually hundreds of different ways for kids to learn? Meet Tamara. She's one of the thousands of educators working to redefine what education can look like in this country.
I've loved the outdoors my entire life, and it's no surprise to me that the outdoors holds therapeutic benefits. My son was born with a congenital heart defect that has a pretty high mortality rate at birth. He needed his time outdoors. As things progress, we've seen a lot of improvement in his overall physical health and well-being. It really just became more evident that being in nature was working. So I just started researching all these new models of education, and that's how I stumbled upon the forest school model. We're on 10 acres of forested property. We have areas for horses and ducks and chickens. We could have kept it for ourselves, but our program really blossomed once we opened the doors to the community. The literal definition of kindergarten is garden of children, and I think we've come pretty far from that. In a conventional classroom, you can have these experiences in a few feet of space that are very small and enough for two kids to play in, whereas when you're in the forest, everything is a learning opportunity.
Forest schools formed in the 1950s, and Tamara says they share one central idea.
Play is learning. Free play is kids exploring, they're pulling up stumps, they're looking for bugs, they're dumping things, their whole bodies are involved. And they're asking questions and they want to find out, and it's because something they're interested in, not because they're being told that they have to be interested in it. And these kids have this opportunity to just be responsible to themselves.
According to proponents of self-directed learning programs like Tamara's, conventional education risks overlooking the potential of certain kids. To understand this more, let's look at how programs like Adventure Me support kids who require extra therapy and care.
So let's take Rudy, for example.
Rudy is our youngest, and he has Down syndrome. Taking care of Rudy requires a lot of activities because his attention span is short, and it requires this stimulation that he's constantly seeking.
Say horses?
And this is a great environment for that. The forest classroom has provided a lot of diversity in Rudy's education. You know, one day we're muddy, one day we're snowy, one day we're sunny, and every week it's different.
Traditional special ed works for many kids, but being separated from their peers to receive support can be isolating. But here, therapy happens right alongside the other kids.
The therapies in forest school just emerge out of what the children are doing. With Rudy, we can follow him to the sandbox because that's where he wants to go. And we're able to meet his goals there rather than trying to force him into what we think his goals should be for the day.
Because Rudy is enjoying his time in this environment in the forest, he is not feeling the pressure of needing to meet expectations or an agenda being put on him. He can grow the way he's supposed to rather than how somebody else thinks he's supposed to grow.
Hey, Rudy, do you want to do sand or mud?
Water.
Water.
When Rudy came to us, he had communication challenges where he had very limited vocabulary. He couldn't put very many words together in a sentence.
When the therapists are working with Rudy outside, they help him tie his words with his activities, making the process of learning academics connected to his interest for the day.
Want it?
Yeah.
I want it.
I want it.
Good trying. Here you go.
The outdoors gives a lot of space for kids to process what it is they're seeing or experiencing and allows them to make the connection between their thinking and their vocabulary. We've just seen some tremendous growth in the way he pieces together sentences now. He can tell us what he needs, he can talk to peers, he can engage them in play, and it's just really fun to watch him.
And in the process of learning these academics, the therapists have witnessed kids like Rudy getting physically stronger.
The children are developing their own sense of adventure or meet a challenge, and they set these challenges for themselves, whether it's getting to the first branch of a tree or jumping from one step to another. It's just allowing for the scaffolding of a child to learn what their boundaries are at that moment.
Today, over 10,000 kids are enrolled in nature schools across America, supporting all kinds of learners. But what about those of us who don't have 10 acres in our backyard?
Even if you live in a city, there's places you can go to experience just a little bit of nature. There's parks, there's farms. You can really find nature anywhere.
Alternative schools like Tamara's are showing many positive results, and their success points to a larger trend towards individualized learning.
When kids meet their goals, the excitement and the level of confidence that you see in their faces, it sets kids up to be lifelong learners.
What if we looked at all education this way? By allowing kids to grow at their own pace, what are the possibilities for unlocking their potential? Stand Together partners with changemakers tackling our biggest challenges. To see more stories, follow our channels. And to learn more about how you can partner with us, go to standtogether.org.